What's going on, everybody? Lawson Turner back with another episode of the Cover 2 podcast. Now, yesterday, we had two really good games. Good for the first half. We saw the Heat finally do what everyone assumed and knew they were going to do. They were going to bounce the Heat. Now, if the Heat have Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier and they missed Jaime Jaquez last night, do they win the series? Probably not. I would bet the house that no, they won't. They wouldn't have. But could they have made it semi-interesting? When the Heat took Game 4, they hit a franchise record 23 threes in an NBA playoff game, which stood out to me because this is the only way that they can win, is they just get crazy hot from three. Now, in Game 5 last night, Boston ended up beating the brakes off the Heat 118 to 84. You know, 34 point, blowout games don't normally happen in the playoffs. We normally don't see one game end by 34, and the next game, which we're going to get into in the next video, 30. Like these crazy ass scores, like some team, but like the discrepancy in the talent between these two teams with no Jimmy, no Jaime in Game 5, and no Rozier, it amazed me as to how this could have gone any way than what it was. It was 41-23 after the first quarter. And I'm like, okay, well, it's done. If Hero's not on the floor and they don't have those other guys, like Jimmy, Terry, Jaime, there's no offensive flow. There's no one getting their offense going. Like Bam is fantastic, but he's not orchestrating and getting everyone into their action. It There's really not much more to say, but let's dive into these six players, three from each side. Derrick White, another outstanding game. Derrick White's probably my favorite. Well, not probably. He is my favorite Celtic. I don't like the Celtics. I don't like Jason Tatum, but Derrick White just is he the best? Like he's the superstar role player in the league. Like whatever the Celtics need him to do. Oh, you need me to drop a playoff high 38 in Game 4? I can do that. You need me to come back and be tied for the leading scorer in a closeout game? I can do that. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Derek White is awesome. He's awesome in his role. And now let's go on to Jason Tatum. He's not been a superstar in this series. We know he can be. He's talented enough. But this series, it wasn't a Tatum series. Now, since entering the league, he has the most playoff points since he's entered the league, which is that's fantastic. That just goes to show how skilled he is and how much and where he can take his game. Because his game is damn near flawless. The only issue I had was over the past couple years, I felt like he would settle for too many not step back threes, but pull up threes where he would like towards the end of the shot clock or he'd be on an island and do just that little hezzy pull up that he does. But 16 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. We love the rebounds assist game if you're not scoring and you're a star player. What else can you do to impact the game? Jaylen Brown also chipped in 25 points and 6 rebounds, and they basically pulled the starters in the third. It it got ugly, and when it got ugly, it got out of hand. And when it gets out of hand, just just pull your key guys. There's no reason up. They ended up being up 37 in the fourth with a minute left. Like this game was over about midway through the third. I was like, okay, well this is a wrap. I thought if the Heat could kind of catch a little bit of fire in the third, it could at least make it interesting. But they could never. They shot 3 for 29 from three. That's 10%. If you shoot 10% from three, your games are gonna look like this. When you put up 33s and you shoot 10%, this is exactly how it's going to look in the modern NBA. You're going to get destroyed. Now, let's move on to the Heat. Three players that I looked at was like, well, here, out of no one had a great game But I felt these players performed the best for the Heat. Bam, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Bam did kind of what he could. Hero, Tyler Hero, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and Caleb Martin, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. The Like I mentioned, the talent discrepancy in this series with no Jimmy and no Terry Rozier, and last night no Hawkes, I was not that I was surprised that the game was played, but it's like, dude, they're gonna shoot y'all out of the gym, and if you don't hit a playoff franchise record 23 threes, guess what? Now the stat to me that was surprising when going through the box score and things of that was Miami needed, pardon me, to steal possessions to have a chance in the series also. Whether that be forcing turnovers or offensive rebounds, and last night they had 0 second chance points, while Boston had 11. That's that's all she wrote. Like this series going into it, the only thought in my head that, oh, this could be interesting is if they had Jimmy and Terry came back at some point. Because when the Heat traded for Terry Rozier, I thought, okay, there's another shot creator that Miami needs. Like Hero's a shot creator. Jimmy come postseason times a shot creator. Terry Rozier's a good offensive player that can help stretch the floor more and can run a lot of action. Whether you Because there was a big chunk of the year where Hero was coming off the bench and he was outstanding in his role. He was flat out outstanding. But with none of their big two, without those big two weapons in here in Jimmy and Terry, it this is what Boston did to damn near every bottom feeding Eastern Conference team. Beat the brakes off of them and pulverize them. But now Boston will await the winner of the Cavs and Orlando Magic series. That looks like has a potential going 7, so Boston should be well rested for game 1. I don't know when game 1 of their series is, but it should be they should be well rested and look to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Well, that's all I have for you guys in this kind of reaction to the Heat getting bounced in the first round. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Cover 2 Pod 26. 2 in that being TO. Link will also be in the description. Let me know who you guys think is going to win the Orlando Cavs series, and could they give Boston some fits? Well, thank you guys for watching for the Cover 2 podcast. I'm Lawson Turner, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.